Well, good morning, folks. Got a little unboxing for you. I've never really done unboxings before, but yesterday my wife had to be in the Seattle area, so I took her over, and since I had the day free, well, I ran up to Grizzly Industrial on up in Bellingham. So it's another hour above where we were. So I spent the day in Seattle doing this, that, and something else, and in Bellingham, a few other places. But anyway, I picked up a granite surface plate, and they were on sale over there. And I've kind of been shopping for a surface plate off and on, not in a real big hurry to find one, but I would have liked to have had a small one in here, or a relatively small one. I'd like to have a big one, but I don't have room for a big one, and I'll add another one later on. But anyway, the shipping cost is what really kills you off on ordering surface plates in, and there's lots of options for buying them off of eBay, buying used plates, and you see a lot of nice plates that guys are having reflattened. And that's a great option if you've got the space for it and want that kind of a project. For me, I want kind of a beat around surface plate. And in most of the home shops, for most of what we do, just how accurate a plate do you need? So anyway, this is a 12 by 18. And I'll put links to them down in the description. I was online shopping for a few others. But part of my reason for going on up there is there were a few other pieces of equipment that I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at a couple of larger lathes that they've got and things like that. So there may be more on that later on, but anyway, let's open up this plate, see what it looks like, and see if it's anything worth having. I don't want you to have to worry about them breaking and shipping. Main thing that gets you is shipping costs, and this 12 by 18 by 3 inch, I think they consider them a grade B. And they're on sale up there right now, which was, I think, $49, which was, I felt, a pretty good deal for what they were. And if I would have had it shipped in, it was another $99 to ship it. Huh. Easy unboxing. And padded. We'll make a cover for it. Calibration certificate, 12 by 18, 3 inch, no ledge. Test number, and it's actually handwritten in there. 2016, temperature 20. Well, yeah, Class B is what they say it is. Laboratory supervisor was 01. So we know it's got to be right if it was laboratory supervisor 01. So anyway, not a bad looking little plate. How level it's really going to be, I don't know. And it's a piece of granite is what it is, but looks to be in pretty good shape all the way around. As far as flatness, I don't have a real good way to test it, and there again, for what we're doing for most applications, how accurate does it really need to be? So I think it'll be all right. A little bit of discoloration in the granite itself there. Whether that's discoloration, whether that was an extinct dinosaur that became that part of the surface plate, I don't know. Anyway, now we have a 12 by 18 3 inch surface plate in the shop. Always kind of interesting to go up to Grizzly. I try and make it up there once every year, or a couple of times a year, or it's been a couple since I've been up now. You get to see all their toys up in the showroom, and there's a few things I wanted to look at that they didn't have on display. I was looking at a couple of bigger lathes, and they did have them on the floor. So I got to turn the hand wheels and play with those a little bit, which is always nice. I was looking at a little sheet metal equipment. They had part of that on display, part of it they didn't. Floor model mills, I was kind of disappointed in what was out on display. They had lots of smaller mills, mill drills, and the common things that most guys are putting in the home shop. I was looking at bigger floor models, 10 by 39s and that kind of thing, and they only had one on the floor there. And there was a few other things I was looking for. A lot of stuff that they have, they're showing out of stock. And I was looking for a smaller surface plate too. I was going to get a 6 by 8, I think it was 2 inch thick, which was on sale too. But I wanted it for setting up Tormek tooling. I was going to have it either drill it or have it drilled for probably an inch hole, so I can set up Tormek style tooling on a surface plate with a height gauge and enter that to set my tool heights. But that was out of stock. and a few other things. So basically, the only thing I walked away with was this surface plate. So it was still worth a trip to go up, get to see some of the machines that I did want to see, and look at what they had on display. You know, it's all imported stuff, and I think sometimes the quality is a little bit better than some of the other things that you just order online and have come in. Any of these type machines, whether it's a new machine or a used machine, South Bend, you know, Atlas, whatever the case may be, I always consider those project machines, because even if they're a good type machine in good condition, you're still going to have to set up the tooling that you want to do the type of work that you're going to do, and it varies for what you're doing in your shop. So I consider all of those project machines. Even a brand new machine is, to me, is a project, and it's going to be an ongoing project. So a lot of times I think that I would rather invest my money in some of the probably Grizzly machines and then set them up the way I want them. You have just as much money invested in a Atlas or a South Bend or a Sheldon lathe, whatever the case may be. When you look at a used machine like that, ultimately you're going to have about the same amount of money invested in them. And a lot of times these imported machines and the Grizzly machines are, I think, a better value. They're going to usually hold the tolerances that you're going to use in the home shop, and they're going to hold tolerances better than a used Atlas, South Bend, Sheldon, something like that you're going to pick up used. It's nice to have USA built. You know, I like my American-made machines, but by the same token, for utilitarian purposes and to actually produce work with them, a lot of times you're going to have better tolerances and a nicer machine to work with off the bat with a brand new imported machine than you are a used USA made machine. So anyway, it's just food for thought. Everybody's got to make their own decisions, and that's kind of the way I lean on a lot of these things. I like the Grizzly machines. It is close enough to me within 250 miles to where I can make the trip to pick up some of the machines if I'm interested in them, or make a trip like this to visit the showroom and maybe pick up some stuff that I'd pay a little bit expensive freight on to actually get them shipped in. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. Hopefully you found this a little bit interesting, and if you've got any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.